name is Latif Murji, Director for Digital Learning and Content Development at Scotiabank in Toronto. I'm actually visiting Vancouver right now on the other side of Canada, and that's why you see my mother's china cabinet behind me. I'm in my parents' house today and can't seem to figure out how to blur my background, so I'm coming to you from BC. But my mandate at Scotiabank is really to support the bank in digitizing their learning, transforming their learning experience, and being able to provide support for our employees in upskilling and reskilling as they look to develop within role and for their next role.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for the introduction. And I really have to be thankful because you've just got up a lot earlier than I thought you had coming in from Toronto. So thank you very much. I've got quite a lot of relations in Vancouver, and my favorite ski resort is absolutely Whistler Blackcomb. So if you've never been that part of Canada, you've got to give it a go. So looking at the kind of blend and the learning experience, what was the challenge you were trying to solve? What were you looking for in a learning solution at the time? Can you kind of talk me through that?
For sure. When I joined the organization, I've been with Scotiabank now for 3 years. The intention was really the organization knew they were facing a lot of challenges from a business perspective, and there would be a lot of change in role and change in skill need for different roles. So they wanted to be able to face that and be able to find a new way to be able to support employees with upskilling and reskilling for their current roles, be able to be prepared for future roles. And that meant really looking at, how we delivered development for our employees. How could we better that culture of continuous development? And we had a number of challenges. We had a very disparate learning experience. We wanted to find a way to consolidate that and bring that together. We didn't have the most contemporary learning experience when we first started this 2 years ago. We wanted to make that more consumer grade, more aligned to what employees would see when they're out on their own, maybe searching a YouTube or doing a Google search, as well as to be able to create a more personalized experience. They were used to a very compliance-driven environment where content was pushed at them that they had to do. It wasn't an environment where they could go and be able to identify, content for their interests, content that their peers may be taking, or be able to, search and find anything new that the organization may be offering. So we wanted to be able to create that kind of easy to use experience around learning, make sure it's personalized and curated for employees, and really be able to support them in that time of need and support them, in the flow of their work as they face those challenges. And really move beyond just that kind of compliance IoT environment.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and I think we've seen a lot of organizations move with that kind of evolution. So thanks very much for that. So, kind of looking at you went out into the marketplace looking at potential options for that. I'm assuming, and why was Blend LXP selected? What was your kind of thought process? Talk us through your decision making and how you kind of did all the things related to that in terms of budgets and technical detail, and what was the kind of process for that took you to the Blend LXP from Talent Team?
For sure. As an organization, we did a very thorough RFP looking at all kind of LXP opportunities in the marketplace. What stood out for Blend and the reason why we selected Blend was that deep integration with SAP SuccessFactors. That was something that our executive team really wanted to stress, was that we had made the investment with SAP SuccessFactors and we wanted to fully leverage that investment and be able to continue to build on that and capitalize on that. And that's what Blend allowed us to do, was to build and capitalize on SAP SuccessFactors. It allowed for a very deep integration with that product suite. And as well, when we thought about trying to create that consolidated experience, it was consolidated. The intention was not just within learning, but within HR. So that as employees interacted with the HR experience, it was embedded within that as well, and a natural extension of that, and not something disparate that they had to kind of leave, the core HR experience and then go do learning somewhere. It was kind of built in within that as well. That was one of the core deciding factors, as well as, being able to leverage all of the SuccessFactors product suite. So being able to, touch back to performance, touch back to learning itself as part of the aggregated experience, as well as to be able to pull on data from Employee Central, to be able to target and to be able to personalize the experience. All of those were part of that deciding factor and allowed us to be able to move forward with Blend. It was really that deep level of integration. The other kind of icing on the cake for us when we evaluated, Talent Team and the Blend product, it was really, the track record of that evolving product. And we've seen that over the 2 years, with Talent Team, is that the product continues to evolve and move from strength to strength. And we continue to leverage a lot of the new components that come out as part of the Blend product. And they've added a lot of value to our organization, as well as, being able to customize the experience to Scotiabank. So being able to target and be able to build those experiences, whether within GEM or WorkZone, that are really bespoke to Scotiabank and as well to our business lines, that's what really resonated with us as well, because it wasn't just an off-the-shelf product that we were trying to deliver. It was now tailored to Scotiabank or tailored to wealth management, and it was a very bespoke experience for those learners. And as well, we found a very strong partner in Talent Team, and that's continued to evolve over the years. And delivering that solution, we've always been able to lean on them. And I've been doing this for about 25 years.
No, it makes a lot of sense. And Sandeep and the team have certainly dug me out of a few interesting dilemmas over the years as well. So I can absolutely attest to that. And in fact, I think we had a conversation at 8 o'clock last night. So he definitely, him and his team go above and beyond. So there's no doubt about that. Great partner, and that actually shows in some of the feedback that I certainly get. So really interesting around that deep integration, and it's great to see Sandeep continuing that deep integration so that you don't have duplication of underlying data across the estate. And as we go into this kind of talent intelligence hub and what we're doing around skills, that clearly will continue, and there's definitely a plan to that. What I'd really like to now do is talk a little bit around the impact, because obviously, many customers have embarked on these kind of learning experience kind of journeys, and the old adage, if we build it, they will come, which I always kind of laugh and giggle a little bit around. There's a bit more to it than that, but what has been the impact on Scotia Academy and within your organisation of this project and the use of Blend LXP? How has that impacted your business?
In a nutshell, they did come. So, and they're still banging on the Scotia Academy. When we first launched Scotia Academy, it was built around 5 pillars or 5 kind of zones of learning, really around compliance, operational excellence, digital innovation, leadership. Those are kind of the core offering from the Center of Excellence of Learning out to the bank. And then what we hoped for is that we would see adoption and utilization of, that offering. And we continue to see very strong traffic to the Scotia Academy. We continue to see growth in our NPS scores and feedback from learners. But then in addition to kind of the core offering, we're now seeing a lot of our partners from within the organization asking to come on to Scotia Academy. So whether it's our contact centers or whether it's kind of retail banking or wealth management, all of them now want a presence on Scotia Academy. They want to be able to leverage, that centralized experience to be able to build out their own programs and deliver to their own kind of targeted kind of onboarding and skill development for their areas. So we continue to see that growth and adoption across the organization. We continue to see, really strong user feedback and adoption from our learners. And, we've seen very strong growth in utilization of our external libraries. We used to purchase content from external companies like Skillsoft or LinkedIn or Pluralsight, but not see a lot of adoption because they were very disparate and you had to log in to different places. But now that it's kind of consolidated and it's personalized and it's targeted, we're seeing much more utilization and ROI on those libraries that we've purchased as well. And for us, the icing on the cake was winning a Brandon Hall Gold Award last year as well for the Scotiabank Scotia Academy experience that we built. So I would say we're going from strength to strength, again, in partnership with Talent Team.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it. So we've got a few minutes left, so I'm going to ask one last question. Hopefully, so what's next? Where do you take it from here? I mean, it looks as if you've done a phenomenal job in conjunction with Talent Team and Blend LXP. But what's next for Scotiabank? What's next for the Academy? Where do you think you can take this?
Absolutely. So, I mean, because it's kind of within our control and we've been able to, customize that experience for Scotiabank, we actually did a complete product refresh just last year. So we did launch it 2 years ago. We got some feedback from learners, but because, that ability to customize it, we've been able to completely update the UI and the experience just last year after 2 years of having the Scotia Academy available to Scotiabankers. And we continue to evolve that experience. So we continue to take the feedback. We continue to evolve the product itself and the way we deliver Scotia Academy. But I would also say now the focus is really on supporting our kind of business line partners. So we're working to support, retail banking and developing a very custom experience for their employees. We're supporting countries in terms of their onboarding to the Academy as well. We have partners right now from our team in Peru, helping our Peru teams onboard to Scotia Academy. Scotia Bank has a very large large presence in South America. So we're right now supporting those partners to build very specific experiences for their learners on Scotia Academy, leveraging Blend and all the great stuff from SuccessFactors.
What a success story. Yeah, I mean, I can't thank you enough because it really brings it to life when we can have a customer or a client that comes on and takes us through their journey, and hopefully we'll be able to have you back at some point and maybe do something in 2024. And I just want to say a huge thank you for for your journey with both SAP, SuccessFactors, and Talent Team and the Blend LXP. I hope you have a great rest of your day in Vancouver. I'm a little bit jealous, actually, if I was being completely honest. I wouldn't mind scooting up to Whistler Blackcomb for the weekend and a bit of skiing. But have a fantastic rest of your day. And I think now, we've got a break. So thank you.